Oh, Captain, till we find where the treasure be. I see beyond the sea. Oh, Captain, till we go on a journey. Follow me, we shall go foreign.
All right, what's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well today. Okay, cool. That's on the right page for once. So we are going to do PoE 2. However, yeah, okay. Didn't realize. Well, I guess I should have realized it was still muted because I wasn't able to really play it last time. But I feel pretty good right now, you know, all things considered. So we are going to get into that in just a little bit. But as usual, I'm going to start with Hunter the Parenting. This is half demon, all hunter boy story. So we'll see what this is about. It should be interesting. And sorry, I'm a little bit late. I had to feed the frogs, but I also really, really, really needed to vacuum my bedroom. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get started.
The night was almost pitch black, rain falling like the tears of angels as Akira Cross stood on a rooftop overlooking Aku City. The rain was heavy and cold like his heart as he looked down on the evil city, filled with the evil creatures of darkness that made him so disgusted. He swept the red highlighted black hair from his pale face, turning his face towards the dark sky, the rain masking his tears that fell from his brown eyes.
My, isn't this edgy?
Back to that fateful day that brought him.
I forgot how horribly long and boring the drive to the chapter house is. I left my dear.
They took boy? I didn't know that they took boy.
I would, Marcus, but I think Sir D might need some help with the wheel.
I need no such thing.
Sir D! Turn, please turn, please turn. I did not.
Now we got pen all over the page.
Oh my gosh.
Well, alley-oop.
Fine, I'll entertain myself with trash. What's this?
Oh, I did
Oh, the embarrassment.
Hey, boy. What you doing?
just writing stuff.
What are you writing?
Oh, it's a kind of story.
A story, huh? Do tell.
Well, for the past little while now, I've been working on a story that I'd really like
What
to
is
get
going on in the background?
Published?
Published.
Published, yeah.
Ooh. Can I see it?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. What if you loathe it?
That is so...
But know that
hey, Door.
Yeah, don't be nervous. We're your family. It's not like we got anything better to do on the car ride to Occam's. Ain't that right, love?
No, right, Paul, right?
No, no.
that'll show you for tailgating.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd like it.
Oh no, Sir D. It's like me driving in a video game. Oh no.
Boy, I am willing to proofread your story. But you must know, if you do not wish to share your tale with us now, you have no obligation to...
Okay, so all the good stories on the internet usually have something called a beta reader that you have to look at your stuff. So I took the liberty of making a copy for everyone.
Oh wow.
It seems you've been preparing for this.
Jesus, how many pages is this? No wonder the printer was out of ink.
Marcus, ink is replaceable. boyhood wonder is not.
Aw.
D, that was a stop sign.
We had right of way.
Sir D,
If that is actually Doris' son, he's a good dad.
Over the line.
Sir D, you're supposed to go around the roundabout, not through it.
That's why they call it that.
Oh my gosh. That just makes me think of a meme I've seen of someone just like absolutely flying over a roundabout. And I know it might have been photoshopped, it might have been real. I don't know. Doesn't change how funny it is.
Hey, Dad, you doing your best to not get us arrested? Or killed?
What? Yeah, sure.
Father, boy has written a story he would like for us to read.
Oh, what a creative little scam! Why, I'd love to.
Sir D,
Not while driving.
you're driving.
Or doing something that resembles it.
Yes, that's true!
That's okay, Grampy. You can maybe just listen and tell us all what you think.
Nonsense! I shall partake. For my darling grandchild, there is nothing in this world I would not do for you. I would stare
Aw.
deep into a burning eclipse, punch 100 jaguars, even eat a shapely boulder like a common household velociraptor.
Everything you just described is extremely dangerous.
I don't want any of that. I just want you to hear my story.
And support your creativity we shall. Nailed it!
We should read Boy's story before we all die.
Right.
Sitting down
So,
might be an
what-
option too. Is that
What's
the
this
dinosaur
story
plushie on the
Oh, okay.
chair back
So-
there though?
This story's called Akira Cross Vampire Slayer. It's about Akira Cross, who's this vampire slayer.
Whoa.
Don't patronize me.
Right, sorry. Well, I've consumed countless miles worth of text on sharing sites and online blogs. If you want me to play hardball, I'm a connoisseur in the field of literature written by 11-year-olds and stand ready to viscerally tear apart your story limb by limb.
Harsh.
No. Marcus, you're sleeping in the chimney if you do
No.
it there right now.
Man, you are coming at me from all sides. I see how it is.
Uncle, I am open to all feedback. I fear nothing but pain,
Bunkle?
death, and...
Bunkle? Oh no, horse!
You said this was a vampire slaying tale? Tremendous! You'd know all about that, wouldn't you, you little dead-eye? Well, it is hard to read the script and avoid collisions at the same time. Perhaps you could, read us in. Assign us roles as things progress.
Sure. Okay. Here goes. The night was almost pitch black, rain falling like the tears of angels, as Akira Cross stood on a rooftop overlooking Aku City.
Why did it go
The rain
echoey
was
for the
heavy
name?
and cold like his heart, as he looked down on the evil city, filled with the evil creatures of darkness that made him so disgusted. He swept the red highlighted black hair from his pale face.
I
turning
like
his face
that this
toward
is
the
on
dark
notebook
sky,
paper.
the rain masking his tears that fell from his brown eyes as he thought back to that fateful day that brought him there. Akira came from the legendary Cross family, a clan of vampires hunters from all around the world. His father Slab was a Master Chief in the Marines before he became a vampire
Hoorah.
hunter, and his mom Yumi was a priestess who hunted demons in Japan.
Ah, the yokai. Many a fearsome creature under that designation.
Sorry, boy, I don't mean to digress, but have you actually fought yokai before, Sir D?
Ah,
I mean,
Oh
I've heard,
my.
Stories about there being special vampires in Southeast Asia, but never anything about a confirmed yokai sighting.
yokai? Why, the true to life was the Dover demon. But Kuei Jin?
Wait, what?
Fantasies. Delusions of those who dream of the mysterious
Dover Demon.
world. At best, a cute misunderstanding. At worst, a vile Occidental conspiracy to prevent you from supporting your local Vietnamese takeaway.
God,
What?
I got that recorded.
Right, but what about yokai in
What?
general?
Oh, yes. Just as there are various and sundry cryptid critters in Western nations, so too do mysterious beings exist in the East. Take, for example, the dreaded and pernicious.
Please, we've heard the Onryo story 1,000 times.
Oh, have you now?
You got knackered with some salaryman, found yourself at a third-floor girls' restroom at a high school, then
What?
managed to summon Hanako-san.
And I fist fought her.
Come on, Dad. Everyone's already heard the toilet ghost story.
Who's Hanako?
Oh, apparently not.
Well, first of all, it wasn't just Hanako-san. It was her three-headed lizard as well. I was nearly dragged into hell through that toilet. Thank you very much. Second, that wasn't
I
what
have
was going to say
questions.
in the least.
I have
No,
questions.
no. What I speak of is the fearsome Kappa.
The Kappa? You mean the little duck turtle guys that hang out by rivers and eat cucumbers?
Precisely them. In a land surrounded by water and covered in a latticework of rivers and streams, the Kappa is one of the most dangerous apex predators imaginable. They swim like torpedoes from hell.
Cool.
They're strong enough to pull a fully grown stallion into the water, have teeth sharp enough to shred its liver.
But
in
this
an
doesn't
instant.
answer.
They have 3 anuses and release
What?
toxic gas to choke a bear.
3 buttholes.
And if they don't render your fat from your hollow, marrowless bones, do you know what they do? Hmm? They pull your soul right out of your sphincter.
Okay, no, come on, now you're just pulling my leg.
You think I jest about anal soul extraction?
You've lied about what?
Sorry, I have to say this. Anal soul extraction would be a fantastic grindcore band name, I think.
Yes, they've been to the country, you know. But fine, if you don't believe me, ask your friend Grimmerly when we get to the chapter house.
Please don't.
I'm almost certain she could tell you all about it, what with her unyielding love of Japanese culture.
She can tell me about anal soul extraction?
I think he means she can tell you about kappas in general. Oh, well, honestly, I wouldn't rule out Elise knowing about anal soul extraction.
When the threat of rectal shenanigans looms,
No.
the defense is a tight clench and a cucumber at the ready to placate the thieving magpie. Or you could bow at it so the water in the little divot in its head falls out and it can't move any longer. Then you pour some more water in and become best friends for eternity unending. Those were the days.
Please.
Oh, hey, Dor, thought you fell asleep.
I believe it is time we return to the story. We have spent a great deal of time on
Hey,
attacking
Vader.
monsters without giving
Well, I'm
Boy
watching some Hunter the Parenting real quick.
meaningful
How you doing, though?
feedback.
Oh, it's okay,
Well-
Dad. I was getting
Quote unquote, real quick. It's an hour.
lots of good notes. I'm gonna include kappas in the story somewhere.
Please do not.
Okay? No butt stuff.
Nope.
Anyways, he and his younger twin brother Ryu trained every day at their
What?
mansion in Japan, which was actually an old castle from the feudal era. They trained to use katanas and sharkins.
Pause. Sharkins?
You know, like Sasuke has? The throwy star things?
Oh, shuriken. Yeah, you'll want to change the spelling, otherwise people might think they threw sharks around as weapons.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
kind of like the mental image of vampire hunters looking sharks at monsters.
Okay.
I'm okay with
They
that.
trained to use katanas and shurikens, and their mom taught them spells for binding demons and ghosts. But Akira's favorite
We've held up as far as that goes for the most part. I mean, the youngest has an ear infection, but he's taking antibiotics for that. And at the end of March, I have to have another bone graft and have the plate in my arm replaced. One of the screws broke, and another one is backing out. And while the bone has healed a little bit, it's still not actually connected. Yay! Overall, we're better. Yeah, I didn't even... I have had, like, increased pain in my arm, but I wasn't sure if that was just because of, like, nerves, quote-unquote, coming back online, or what have you. But I'd also been complaining about my arm feeling weird, and that could definitely be part of that. So, it is always something. We also thought our dog was going to pass away, but I'm convinced he is an alien and immortal, because this is not the first time that we've thought he was... Because he's 14, 15 years old. He is old, even for a mutt. Which is what he is. We don't know 100% what he's mixed with, but he's definitely not purebred. But it's not the first time that we thought he was going to pass away, and it's not the first time that he's bounced back. It's like he's going into hibernation. This dog is an alien.
Training was the gun training he had with his dad because he loved to shoot assault rifles, and sometimes his dad would bring home experimental guns like the crystal pistol, which were always cool.
Crystal pistol. That is fun to say. Crystal pistol. Now, we've joked about him being an alien for like ever, basically, because he's a medium-sized dog, but he weighs like 40 pounds. He weighed less than a dog that was smaller than him. He's very delicate looking, but also kind of has like... At first I thought he might have like greyhound or something in him, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We used an app to identify a dog that we knew the breed of, and it did it. So we're like, okay, now that we know that this is at least accurate to purebred dogs, let's see what it comes up with for him. And it came up with him being Ibsian hound and Australian cattle dog. Which would definitely explain why he looks so weird, because I'd never even heard of an Ibsian hound before. And I did look up some mixes of those dogs, and yeah, they look kind of similar. His coloration is still really weird, so there could be something else in there because of him being... He's brindled, but he's blonde. It's like there's no actual dark stripes. The darker stripes are like dirty blonde, and the lighter stripes are just lighter blonde. So he looks weird. And his ears are both prick-eared, but they flop at the very ends. They always have. Yeah, so he's weird looking. He's a good boy though. Oh, and he's red boned. He's got a red nose. He is. Though admittedly, if he had been younger, we probably would have rehomed him, because I don't think I could handle a young dog. It's just, he's already so old. And when he came down the stairs and saw me, and he was so happy to see me after I got back from the hospital, I just like, I couldn't even distance myself from him.
Crystal pistol, you say? Just to ensure I'm witnessing its form in the mind's eye theatre correctly, is this a pistol made of crystal, or a pistol?
Crystal
that fires
pistol is still
crystals?
fun.
Or perhaps, is it both?
If
Both.
it's the gun I'm thinking of, it shoots crystals that violently explode into shards on contact. Am I right? I bet I'm right.
Yeah, that's how it works. But the crystals are different, because they are magic crystals.
I absolutely shudder to think of the ramifications should the U.S. government actually
So what have you been up
harness the
to,
power of
Vader?
crystal bullets in their weaponry.
Father, I do not believe the United States would even be interested in developing crystal ammunition, even without factoring for the low density of most crystalline materials and the likelihood of shattering upon firing, let alone upon contact. The logistics and cost of carving crystals into the proper bullet shape at a high enough rate of production to outfit even one soldier would quickly outweigh any benefits. Though,
He's not wrong.
perhaps if one was to house a crystal within a proper casing.
No, the casing would just get in the way. For any
I love
crystal's
this
effective to
debate.
decode, the crystal must make direct contact with the flesh of the target. Why, I remember not long ago, I was accosted outside the legally distinct.
I'm gonna
Odyssey
regret
line
chugging that.
by a drunken man claiming to be a druid and brandishing a knife made of pure jasper. As you do. If you know anything
As you
about
do.
jasper, you know it protects
Have
the
you
wearer
seen
from
any of these
negative
before,
energies.
Vader?
But when weaponized, it can fill its victim with all of the negative energy ensconced within its crimson form. As I learned when the druid housed his blade right into my lower abdomen. Though I quickly managed to slam dunk the druid into a nearby gutter. For days
It would
after, I
suck
found
to be
myself
stabbed
mired in
there.
malaise and malcontention, stifled under the weight of all of the negativity now pervading my body, thanks to that damned Jasper.
Dad, are you sure you weren't feeling bad because you know, got stabbed?
Do you think I haven't been stabbed before, young man? I know the difference between a normal stabbing.
Fair enough. I think we got some new stuff coming for Warframe in March, so that'll be good. This, if you've seen the Warhammer 40k TTS, it's the same guys.
And a negatively charged stabbing.
And actually, they took a
Sorry,
lot of
my
the
silly
designs
boy.
and just
I
transferred
sent
them
us
over to
far
this.
afield once more. Continue.
Start.
But it's based on the Hunter or the White Wolf games. I guess Paradox now? I don't know who owns World of Darkness anymore. That seems like it would be good to know.
I should have said no comments until the end, please. Were. Everyone was happy in their peaceful lives, but all that changed one fateful day. It was after
Seems like it would be
dinner
good to know.
when the
Hold on.
vampires attacked. Slab took his favorite double-barrel shotgun. I typoed. Slab took his favorite double-barrel shotgun.
It is Paradox Interactive that owns World of Darkness now, from the looks of it. And it looks like they've owned them since 2015.
Gun, which was loaded with UV bullets. And
We found
ran
out
to
at the same
courtyard
time.
of the kitchen.
Pardon me, boy, but is that a typo too?
Huh? Oh, kitchen? No, it's a, it's a mansion. That's a castle. So a kitchen. I can switch it to Massel if that makes more sense, though.
Personally, I'd say stick with either mansion or castle. The portmanteau might be a bit confusing.
Portman's.
I like Canshin,
Continue.
but Massel is also
this
phone
is
too.
Slab's part. You want to read this, Dad?
Yes. Take the kids and run.
Slab shouted at Yumi, and he opened fired his way out of the house, while Yumi grabbed Akira and Ryu and ran.
He's hip
She
firing.
only made it to the private dock in their backyard when they came face to face with their greatest enemy, Gilgamesh, the king of
What?
Uruk-hai!
Why
no,
Gilgamesh? I said Gilgamesh. Yeah, I did Vampire the Masquerade. I did the original Changeling. We actually ended up with kind of a weird group where we did have a mage. We had 1 or 2 werewolves, and then everybody else was vampires, and that should not have worked. Because everybody basically hates everybody. I guess the mage could work with the vampires or whatever, but oh gosh, yeah, same. We also, my husband and I played the second edition where it changed. Gosh, what did Vampire the Requiem, I think? But we did some vampire, we did some werewolf, we did Promethean, which is fantastic. I don't think they ever brought Wraith back. And understanding how Wraith was played, I can see why they didn't bring it back. Because, whoo, you want to end some friendships. That might be a good way to do it. Changeling, I liked the second edition of Changeling better. It was darker. The first one felt completely out of place with the rest of the World of Darkness. But the second one, absolutely fantastic. Because the Fae were actually these unknowable, creepy creatures that, you know, you might end up becoming a changeling because they liked how beautiful you were when you cried and things like that. So, for us, the Fae that caused our transformation, one of my husband's, liked to that turned him into a spider and made him kill my character over and over again. So I was basically a ghost and he was a spider. So, yeah. It could be very dark. It was good. Promethean was great. A little more hopeful than the rest because you actually could achieve humanity. As opposed to like losing your humanity and going insane or whatever. One sec, I gotta make sure a cat's not in here. Oh, Gangrel's great. When I did Vampire the Masquerade, I was Malkavian. She had multiple personalities. Or I guess what would be. I am so sorry about that. I hate it when that happens. Alright, I guess that would be DID now. I have to ask, did you hear me burp? I don't know how tight the oh, that's cool. And then with the second edition of Vampire, we were Old West. Awesome! That's good to know. I did not know. I hadn't really been able to ask anyone because folks hadn't been here on the couple of occasions that it's happened. So if it can't be heard, that's fantastic.
Ancient Mesopotamian mythology?
Oh yeah, he was my husband's character. I don't remember what see, one of our friends was in it and he was German. I know that. My husband's character fought in the Civil War for the North pretty sure. And my character was a prostitute. She was. And she was short. She was short. So short.
Or is he an orc? Mesopotamian orc?
He was a massive man with a massive beard and an evil smile.
I miss him, though.
Full of razor-sharp teeth.
That's right! That's exactly what he looked like!
He laughed loud.
Actually, my husband told me about something. I think he did this in Mage, but I could be wrong. He'd have to correct me. But he once took, I guess to beat whoever they were fighting, obviously. He like opened a door and filled the room with the ocean.
Loudly and evilly. Grampy, you're really loud. Maybe you should read for Gilgamesh.
He's driving!
It would be an honor, sweet child. Did you actually think you could
He's
escape from
driving!
me? Oh, pathetic.
As he laughed, he tossed the body at Yumi, knocking her off her feet. It was the body of Slab, drained of all its blood. Yumi broke down in tears, unable to fight back.
This is actually
against
pretty
Gilgamesh's
intense.
incredible power. She pleaded with Akira and Ryu to run away, but they
It's
were
better
quickly
than that,
caught by
Harry
Gilgamesh's
Potter
wicked
fanfic.
henchmen. Akira was forced to watch as Gilgamesh bit his mother and brother in the throat, quickly draining them
So
of all
Gilgamesh
their
is a
blood.
vampire.
I'm sorry, please. I just need a moment to compose myself.
Where'd everybody else go? He got into it.
God, are you okay? You're not having a flashback, are you?
No, no!
His eyes are closed. He is driving.
Certainly have the rock upon which the family foundation was built. The honorable slab, laid to ruin. But to see the very lives of the sweet, nurturing Yumi and the rambunctious scamp Ryu snuffed out so viciously. I knew Gilgamesh was a vile fiend, but this is truly a new low of villainy. How could I not
my
be moved
gosh.
to tears at the tragedy of it?
I mean, I'm not having a hard time.
Marcus, be nice.
All right. Okay,
Gosh.
we're good. I'm good. Please continue.
As Gilgamesh laughed evilly once more, Akira had enough. He screamed, feeling a burning
He's into
rage
it, isn't he?
rising inside of him, and suddenly there was a flash of light. He unleashed all of his anger into a burning aura and formed a giant
I think I just noticed something. Is that a real notebook in the background? I'm into it if it is.
katana in his hand, cutting down the vampire that had captured him.
Oh,
His parents had never had the chance to tell him and Ryu, but his father was descended from
I think
the
that's it. I
Nephilim,
think that is
ancient
real. I think this
angels,
is just
and
like
his mom was descended from
stuff they
yokai,
drew
Japanese
on a real
demons.
notebook.
This made him half
Or
American,
in a real
half
notebook.
Japanese, half Nephilim, and half yokai,
mhm.
which made him
Is he Bender? Is he Bender? Is he Bender? I just...
extremely powerful.
Nephilim, yokai, and human together. The blood in that hybrid is as potent as they come. Akira is among the most powerful entities I've ever heard spoken of, even in legend.
Oh, sorry to interrupt again, but there's something I've come to notice. You don't appear to use commas in your writing. Is that a stylistic choice, or...?
What's a comma?
Commas are an admission of defeat in syntax form. They
My
are for people who have
gosh.
no confidence in their own words. They speak of hesitance, of pausing, and you should never pause. Speak your words as lightning.
In addition to teaching Boy about ancient literature, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, Father insisted that he preside over boys' grammar lessons.
Which, as you can see, went about as well as our math lessons.
Don't think I can't hear your sarcasm, son of mine. I taught you all to be mavericks of the written word.
This
I'll
is a
spell your name
fantastic
with a comma
family.
after every letter.
Son, you curse me so.
Oh my gosh!
What a rush! I love driving.
Continue before we crash, boy.
He mowed down wave after wave of vampires with his angry sword, but he knew he wasn't ready to fight Gilgamesh yet.
Well, that sucks, but that is unfortunately the case of a lot of TTRPGs. I don't think that I've ever been in one that's come to an actual end. They've all fallen off for one reason or another, and it sucks. Hopefully when I get my Pirate Borg stuff, I'll be able to just like push through all of that and be like, yo, we're doing this. I don't care. Y'all are coming and sitting at the table. Because everybody's going to be in the house. So I can just kind of make them do it. I can't make them do it, but I can try.
So he jumped into the river and was washed away to safety. That was 5 years ago. Now, Akira was back in Aku City, seeking the final, truest vengeance against his mortal, immortal enemy.
By Jove, what an absolutely cracking introduction this was! I have no words. Beyond the words I said earlier, of course. But it had thrills. It had chills. It had
I mean,
gut-wrenching
to be
tragedy.
honest, for an
I couldn't think of a
11-year-old,
better beginning than
yeah.
this.
I think it could probably use a little expansion. This is a big, life-changingly awful thing that happened, and you've got maybe a paragraph or two on it. Maybe make it a whole chapter into itself. Flesh it out. Really lay the angst on thick.
Well,
I
like
mean-
it so far. It just needs a once-over with spell check and some commas is all.
How dare
Con-
you.
Perhaps specify that the crystal pistol uses shelled crystals rather than crystal bullets.
Have you? Maybe that's something I could do. Could stream it. But it would have to be with people that are on when I'm streaming. So, and I've only got a few hours, so I don't know.
Is that really all you have?
Anyway, back to it.
It was time to get to work. He put on his headphones and put his favorite song on his LG chocolate, Crazy Frog. He chuckled ironically.
LG chocolate?
Some might say he was pretty crazy after all, like the Crazy Frog.
Actually, it's not the Crazy Frog. Its actual name is The Annoying Thing. Crazy Frog is the name of the song.
Marcus put on his favorite artist, The Annoying Thing. Marcus chuckled ironically. Some might say he was pretty annoying.
Oh my
Yeah.
fucking God.
Son-in-law, you crushed my son onto the ground like a hydraulic press with your potent modes of humiliation.
No, I believe
The
that.
song is in fact called Axel F, as it is a cover of the theme from Beverly Hills Cop and not an original song. Additionally, the character may have originally been called The Annoying Thing, but its name was changed to Crazy Frog. You're wrong on both accounts, brother.
Oof.
God, not you. Hey, wait. Since when did you know fuck all about Crazy Frog?
Since my son began his obsession with that mind-numbing nudist.
He's not nudie though. A lot of cartoon characters are just drawn like that.
Boy, you can see his penis.
What?
Are we sure we all watched the
What? That would be cool. I don't think I have any of my old. I might have some of them actually, in a box in the basement.
same video?
Boy! Let's continue.
He leaped off of the 50-story tall building and shot like a rocket to the street below, the force of his landing and his steel-toed boots making a crater in the street where he landed. The rainwater bounced off of his black trench coat, which looked almost like a straitjacket, and his black and red chain rave pants as he walked.
Now where have I seen a wardrobe like that before, Marcus?
You're of the big and tall persuasion like myself. Fat pants provide both ample breathing room and storage space. They're handy, and they make me look cool. Continue.
Akira walked to Duskheart Academy, his high school.
Sounds like something I would have worn.
He never liked
I'd
going
still
to
wear.
school much.
I'd
because he
still
felt
wear
like
it.
Everyone was always
I
looking
would.
at him funny, and any one of them could secretly be a monster in disguise. Tonight was the night he started his Economics 101 class.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
The
Akira.
horror!
As he walked into the classroom, he got the shock of his life. Standing behind the desk wasn't a teacher, it was Gilgamesh!
Why is Gilgamesh here?
Fuck!
Instantly, Akira drew his sword from his backpack, but Gilgamesh just laughed.
Now, young student. I think you know there's no weapons allowed in the classroom.
He chortled.
Because I'm a fascist.
Akira grit his teeth.
Oh.
He knew he was right. He couldn't fight Gilgamesh here and expose the secret that he was a vampire hunter and Gilgamesh was a vampire.
Why not?
Angrily, he put his sword away and took a seat in the back of the
That's a good
classroom
question.
and stared daggers at Gilgamesh at the other side of the classroom.
To ensure I understand, Akira is not actually staring the daggers into existence, correct?
Good question.
I-
Good question.
That would be a cool power, though.
No, he doesn't have that power yet.
Yes!
Something else to look forward to.
As it turned out,
Sorry, I can't react. Like, I said yet in sync with Marcus.
Gilgamesh was
Just-
pretending to be an economics teacher named Greg Mesh. But what was he there for? Was he there to keep an eye on him? To probe him for weakness? Akira couldn't figure it out, but he had other things to worry about. Namely, that economics was really hard. Maybe Greg was making the class harder on purpose.
Oh my
As Akira
gosh.
made doodles in his notes, he noticed a girl sitting beside him, looking over at him occasionally. She had black hair with blue streaks that went down to her chin.
I have to say, I don't know what I was expecting of this. Because the title of this video is Half Demon, All Hunter, Boy Story. I didn't know that this was a story by Boy. I thought it was about Boy. I thought we were going to learn something about him. But they are really good at, like, just subverting your expectations.
She wore the usual school uniform, but she had on a black and white striped scarf. And she looked kind of emo, but in a cute way. Akira was also wearing his school uniform because
Does
he had
Akira
changed
not
before
look
he got to
emo?
school.
I
When
have
she
questions.
Saw Akira looking at her, she looked away, blushing. He caught her staring at him a couple more times, which started to annoy him a little. When class was over, Akira stopped in front of the girl's desk as she was packing her backpack. Hey, I don't like being stared at, he said, glaring at her. If you don't stop staring. He turned away with his eyes closed. I might have to kill you. The girl blushed
Damn.
and looked away and poked her fingers together shyly. She looked like she
Oh
wanted
my
to say
gosh.
something, but she didn't. But then she held out a note, and Akira took the note. The note said, "Meet me at Mirakuru Park at 4 a.m." Oh, and then I put a little author's note in there to explain that Mirakuru is the Japanese.
I feel like
word
I
for
have
miracle,
that as an
just in
emote
case
somewhere.
anybody doesn't get it.
Ooh, yes, very helpful that.
When he read the note, he looked up, and the girl was gone. How mysterious, he said.
Oh well, I took
Maybe
too much
I
time.
should do it.
I don't know, Akira. This sounds like a trap. Is it a trap? Wait, no, don't
He needs to go to Admiral Akbar's School of Trap Detection.
tell me. But maybe a hint? No!
I suppose she could be a secret vampire. Though if she was, considering Akira's been raised to fight them, would he know one on sight?
Well, she did mysteriously disappear after giving him the note. Maybe she's a ghost schoolgirl.
Ooh. Dang it, I did
I'll
it!
be pretty surprised, but I won't ruin it for ya. The rest of the school night was pretty boring. Akira was a straight A student and an amazing athlete.
So
thanks
school
to
night.
all
So
of the
they go to
vampire
school
hunting,
at
so
night.
school wasn't hard or anything.
But
Sometimes, if he was really bored, he would just leave and have the teacher send his homework home to him. But he couldn't stop thinking about that weird cute girl from his economics class, so he decided he would go to Mirakuru Park after school. Mirakuru Park was the most popular amusement park in town, with 12 of the world's biggest, fastest, and scariest roller
what's
coasters.
up, Reg?
And an awesome arcade. It was also open 24/7.
An awesome arcade.
which made it a
Arcades
popular
are
hangout
important.
place for kids who went to Dustcard Academy.
Okay, that actually sounds neat if I'm being honest.
But when he got to the park, he
Yeah,
saw something that made him
it does.
angry. The girl from
Can we
class
have a
was ready to
24-hour
go with the
amusement
entrance to the
park?
But she was surrounded by 3 punks. Uncle Ma, do you want to play the punks?
Sure. Sure.
Maybe
I will.
Marcus should.
Oi, love, ain't you a pretty bird?
One of the punks said with a grin.
Come here alone, did ya?
Said another.
Ain't got a mate or nothing.
You're.
How's about you?
I'm sorry. You're trying to do what? In Sky, I don't. Oh, mod Skyrim. That sucks.
Show us a good time, Sheila.
Asked the third, and they
It's
all
okay. I
chuckled
was like,
maliciously.
what does that mean?
Kind of like that,
But it's
more
okay.
menacingly, you know?
Oh, this is the best story ever.
Just to clarify, are these supposed to be punks or bogans?
What now?
Australian punks.
Oh.
No, they're supposed to be British.
Ah, I appreciate the local color added, but you've got a little of your slang mixed up.
I'll just fix it later.
No, please keep it in there. Keep it in there so that when the inevitable audiobook comes out, your uncle's opening
Fair.
line's gonna be, "Oh, I love what's all this thing."
This is all the mootest of points, as I will be the one to record the audiobook. Anyway, keep going, for I
Oh,
crave to
I
see
love how
more
he just
heroics
came
from
that.
our young Slayer.
The girl looked
Okay. So what is it? I want to know what a bogan is. If it's a bit more than a punk. I don't know what it is. So now I'm curious. Man, watching this is going to take like half my time because it's so long and I keep pausing. Now I'm going to have to step away briefly. I'll be right back while you answer that. I'm not going to go on the BRB screen though. Okay, I am back. Alright, you could compare it more to trailer trash, specific type of people usually lacking in intelligence and education.
Scared
That's
and
interesting.
confused. That was when Akira saw their razor-sharp teeth behind their
Thank you.
smiles. They were all vampires. He knew he had to do something fast.
Likely, because I'm pretty sure the people that write this are British. Very likely they do know what it means. They just shortened it to stay in character of talking to a kid. That would be my guess.
He pulled out the black-bladed katana, the Tenshi no Ken, from its holster on his chain paints. I meant to write pants, but I wrote paints instead. I gotta fix that. And pointed it at the vampire punks. I guess I should have known from the smell that you were a bunch of no-life suckheads, Akira said to them.
Yeah,
Kill them, Akira!
that's my
matter?
guess. Was
You
he
too
was just
scared to pick
simplifying
on someone
the
your own
meaning.
size?
Oi, what's all this then?
Oh my god, he actually said it.
Said one of the punks when he saw Akira.
Oh, you having a
Oh my gosh.
laugh, mate?
Yeah, I'm having a laugh, said Akira, at your dumb faces.
Kick the collective ass, young hero!
You wanna fight?
Oh my god!
Shouted the second punk.
For as funny as this episode is, it can be so intense. As we're gonna see later on, because I've said this before, I'm gonna watch it on stream, but I did watch at least part of the 5th episode, I think it is. Yeah. And oh my gosh. You want to talk about turning from being like all lighthearted and stuff to suddenly just like actual horror. Oh. They get the atmosphere. It's so good. You'll see.
Yeah, I do, said Akira, and the vampires.
I highly
all
recommend
rushed at him
watching
at the
this.
Same time.
It begins!
Akira swung his Tenshi no Ken once so quickly that it looked like he barely moved at all, and all of the vampires stopped.
Oi, you missed, mate.
Said the leader of the vampires, and they all laughed until suddenly they stopped laughing. Akira raised his Tenshi no Ken, which was covered in blood, and the vampires looked at it with horror until suddenly all of their heads burst from their bodies in a fountain of blood and gore.
I love the
Eyeballs
cartoony. They didn't
flying
know
out
they
of
were
their
dead yet.
skull like a fountain of eyeballs before their
And it got very Tarantino there.
bodies disintegrated into a fountain of ash.
Classic one-stroke duel! My darling grandson, truly you are a connoisseur of the dramatic.
An impressive move, for certain, though highly inadvisable. Taking on so many blanks within so close a range would be suicide for most.
Akira turned to look at the girl who was backing away slowly in fear. It's okay, you're safe now, said Akira as he held out a hand to the girl. A thank you would be appreciated.
Oh.
Such a gentleman.
He sounds like you when you actually do anything around the house.
Uncle Marcus, how about you play
Sorry.
the girl?
Oh, I think my voice has been rendered high-pitched enough from all the squealing. Why not?
Thank you, the girl said under her breath
I
with a
s-
blush on her face. Akira was surprised that she had a really pretty voice, like maybe she was a singer or something. She did kind of look like one with her black and blue mini dress with a tutu skirt and corset and combat boots. Akira had also changed out of his school
The
uniform
combat
and was wearing
boots.
his black strange coat with a mesh shirt beneath, black and red
I can't say
chain
nothing.
wave pants.
I got like fire boots. They're so comfortable though. Oh my gosh.
And heavy combat boots with loads of metal buckles.
Sorry, strange coat?
Oh, it's another portman's toe. It's combination straight jacket and trench coat. The same one he was wearing earlier.
Oh, I see. Continue.
I'm so happy you decided to come.
Yeah, well, not like I had anything better to do.
Oh.
Said Akira as he crossed his arms. So what do you want? The girl held her arms behind her back and fidgeted with nerves.
You just seemed like a really cool guy, so I wanted to see.
This turned into.
That's what she said.
Gosh, what is the name of that Harry? Hold on.
So I thought maybe you might be lonely.
Akira hoofed. More like people are too scared to hang out with me, he said. But that's fine. I'm more of a lone wolf anyway.
My Immortal.
But I
This
guess
turned
you
into
wanna
My
hang out,
Immortal.
That's
No,
cool.
no, no.
If you don't know what
you
that
must
is,
understand.
if you don't know what My Immortal is, you have got to listen to, I think it's the Internet Historian? Read it.
As much as
I'm
this
pretty sure
darling
he's the
young
one that
girl
wrote it.
may have charmed your wounded heart, and as much as she has now witnessed, you can't simply bring her into your world. She's much too frail to
Oh
be decent
my
for a
gosh.
beast as ours. Unless, of course, you see some latent potential within her.
The girl smiled the prettiest smile Akira had ever seen and grabbed him by the arm and dragged him into the park. They rode all the scariest rides in the park for hours and got funnel cake, and Akira didn't throw up once. Then they went to the arcade. Akira wanted to play the new Halo arcade game, but the girl wanted to play Jiggy Jiggy Insurrection, the dance game. He rolled his eyes. but he
Jiggy
played
Jiggy
along anyway.
Insurrection.
Hey,
I know it's just Dance Dance Revolution, but I so wish that Dance Dance Revolution was Jiggy Jiggy Insurrection now. Gosh. Just I was gonna say something about the Halo arcade game, but Jiggy Jiggy Insurrection got me. I probably think that's way funnier than it
Killer
than it
arcade game,
actually
huh?
is.
I wonder how that would work. Maybe something like Time Crisis. It's on rails, and you step on the pedal to shoot, and you step off to recharge your shield. Something like that.
Oh, you ever see that game?
Oh, he's
Grid?
riding.
It was a deathmatch game where you move with the joystick and
You can hear it
I'm
just
picturing
barely.
someone wildly spinning the trackball, pulling the trigger, and hoping for the best. Oh, didn't Half-Life 2 get an arcade game earlier this year?
Did it?
Yeah, it did. I think it's got like a seat with 2 joysticks, left one moves and the right one aims.
Of all the games to make an arcade shooter, a story-heavy game like Half-Life 2? You think they included water hazard?
Oh, God, imagine. Anyway, continue.
Actually,
Half-Life. We don't go to Ravenholm. That gave me nightmares.
wait,
The stupid
Jiggy
head.
Insurrection?
Ah, see?
It's like Dance Dance Revolution.
He finally
but I
commented on it.
can't use that name because they'll sue me.
But you used Halo.
He was surprised when they had the new
Oh.
song by Sweetie Chick on it, and he got so into the dance that a crowd had formed to watch him get a platinum top score. He tried not to look like he was having too much fun, but he smiled once or twice.
Scandalous.
As sunrise
Ooh,
approached, Akira and the girl
terrible.
thought it might be fun to ride the giant Ferris wheel and watch the sunrise together. The two got on and rode the wheel all the way up to the very top when the ride came to a stop.
Is she gonna get dusted because she's a vampire?
By the way, my name's Hina.
The girl said,
What's yours?
All
"My
this
name
time
is
together,
Akira Cross," said Akira.
and they never
"Last of
shared
my
names.
name,"
Oh,
said Hina, looking sad.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up any painful memories.
So insensitive. Couldn't she tell by his smoldering aura
No.
that he was a man filled to the brim with pain and personal tragedy?
The two sat in silence for a while, until suddenly, Akira realized that the Ferris wheel had been stopped way too long. Was something wrong with the ride? Were they stuck? All of a
Yes.
sudden, there was a loud bang as something landed on the roof of the Ferris wheel.
Is she
car.
gonna die?
The door burst open, and a long arm stretched
I'm way too
inside,
into this.
grabbed Tina and pulled her out. Akira scrambled after her to see what had grabbed her.
No! Betrayed by the wiles of deceitful automata! Never trust a Ferris wheel to function when in combat!
On the roof of
Yeah,
the car
what?
was an old, white-haired man wearing orange Indian monk robes. Akira knew who it was immediately. It was Bodhayana, one of Gilgamesh's vampiric coven.
I'm sorry, who?
Bodhayana was an Indian mathematician, currently the
Froggies.
oldest known, who was found to have written a sutra containing the Pythagorean theorem almost 300 years before Pythagoras himself discovered it.
I wish to know, and I quote, who made math a thing because I hate them. And I will not deny him the name of his greatest enemy.
Who made math a thing? Because I hate them. My gosh.
Our greatest enemy, the very villain responsible for the hell world you see before you. Cursed be his triangles!
Ah, I see.
One of his snake-like arms was coiled around Hina, who had passed out and was holding her in place. You haven't had a part in a bit, Dad. How about you do this?
He's driving!
Snubs,
Oh
wait.
wait, that's his dad.
Said
Never mind, that's
Bodhiana.
Door.
On a date with your little girlfriend, I see.
He did a different accent.
This guy Austrian door?
I apologize, boy. I'm not too good at these voices.
She's not my girlfriend, shouted Akira. She has nothing to do with this, so let her go,
As you wish.
said Bodhiana.
Oh, no.
He pulled back his arm like a ripcord and set Hina spinning like a Beyblade.
Okay.
Spinned and spinned until she went flying off the top of the car.
Oh my
Akira
gosh.
screamed and jumped after her, angling his body down to pick up speed to catch her. He caught her and pulled up his grappling hook from his strange coat and aimed it up at the car and fired. The hook looped around a metal beam and he swung up and over, landing inside of the car. He put Hina down on the seat, then climbed back to the roof. Bodhiana laughed wickedly.
Or
He said,
I did the calculations in my mind. She had reached just the perfect speed to make an incredible mess on the pavement. What a spoil sport you are.
"Yeah?"
Oof.
said Akira with a smirk. "Well, I've got a calculation for you. Me plus you. Solve for who gets dead."
Oh, it's so cool!
Akira charged at Bodhiana with the Tenshino Ken.
Oh my
but
gosh.
Bodhiana's body pulled out of the way of his swings like he was a giant rubber band.
He's made of rubber. How did that happen? Yo ho ho! He took a bite of vampire.
He swung with precision, but none of his blows seemed to land. If only he'd brought his UV gun with him, he thought maybe he could have hit him. Akira was starting to get so angry that he was seeing red.
My
Bodhiana
gosh.
just laughed.
Is that all you got, boy?
He laughed.
How embarrassing. Gilgamesh will be most pleased when I bring your dried up corpse to him.
The mention of Gilgamesh was enough to put Akira over the edge, and his rage overcame him. He dashed forward so quickly it looked like he teleported. Bodhiana stopped laughing when Akira appeared behind him and ran him through the heart with the Tenshino Ken.
Wow.
Yes! Yes!
How could this be?
He gurgled as blood filled his mouth. "You pissed me off," said Akira as he pulled the Tenshino Ken sideways out
Ooh.
of Bodhiana's chest.
Oh my gosh.
Akira flicked the blood off of the blade and put it away as Bodhiana crumpled to the floor. But just as Akira was about to return to the Ferris wheel car to see how Hina was doing, Bodhiana stood up with a laugh.
You fool!
He laughed.
Because of my stretchy body,
These
I can move my
reactions
organs around
just-
as I please. So you missed my heart completely. Say your prayers, boy.
How can Akira possibly get out of this one? Is our hero doomed?
But just as Bodhiana went to strike back at Akira, his
This
arms
is
and
too
legs
good.
were suddenly chained with heavy chains that looked to be made
Oh,
of
did the
holy
girl do
light.
that?
He screamed as the chains burned his flesh.
How could this be?
Bodhiana screamed as he freaked out. Suddenly, someone shining with a bright white holy light came floating out of the Ferris wheel car. Akira couldn't see who it was right away because the light was too bright, but as he kept looking, eventually he could see it was Hina. "Hina, how are
I
you
called
doing
it.
this?" Akira asked, but Hina said nothing. She just pointed her hand at Bodhiana.
Thy judgment is nigh.
Hina said with a
Is
voice
that a
that didn't
biblically
sound like
accurate
Hina's.
angel
That's it,
behind
man.
her?
Thy judgment is nigh, and the sun shall be thy judge, jury, and executioner.
Bodhiana
Why did he
looked on
become
in
the queen?
horror as the sun began
Or
to
she?
rise over the horizon. He freaked as his body caught fire in the sunlight, and soon he was burnt away to nothing. When Bodhiana disappeared, Hina suddenly said,
Our work is complete.
and she closed her eyes, and the light faded, and she dropped to the roof of the Ferris wheel car. Akira picked up Hina's body. She was okay, just passed out. When the Ferris wheel ride was over,
Ben,
he carried
why
her
would
to
you
her
phrase
house
it
after
like
looking
that?
up her home address on his phone. Her parents weren't home because Hina was also an orphan, so he laid her on
Oh.
her couch and went home. Okay, so, more thoughts?
What an exhilarating fight that was! And what a shocking turn of events!
Right?
That sweet, shy little Hina was hiding such incredible power!
I don't know. It kind of comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? There's no real foreshadowing to it. It just kind of happened.
Well, this is just a first draft, I assume. You can add that on the second pass, you know? Just notes for later.
I would suggest that Akira should not fight the blanks head on, as that would be a needlessly dangerous tactic. Perhaps instead he should lure them into a series of traps that he laid out near the park ahead of time. This
Dora
would go
does.
far to
So, okay. Door is based off. Oh my gosh. Hold on. He's based off of Dorn. So it's kind of why from the TTS, like that's where the design is from Rogel Dorn. So like some of the character traits came over to this, like his strategizing and traps and
to
stuff.
his superior planning skills.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. Oh, it's time for a really cool character. Okay, here we go. Akira lived in an apartment on the top floor of the tallest building in Aku City. He lived there with his mentor, Mars. Mars was the man who had found him after he washed up on the river after his fight with Gilgamesh. He was a world-traveling monster hunter, and when he looked into the young boy's eyes, he knew he saw a fellow fighter. So he took him with him.
He's
around
got the
world to
anime
train
hair
him
on
and take
lockdown.
care of him. He was named Mars because his fiery red hair looked like the surface of Mars, but ironically, it was also the name of the god of war, which Mars absolutely was when it came to fighting monsters. He taught Akira all kinds of cool moves, like how to hide wooden stakes in a vest under his shirt, and whip them out when a vampire got too close.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool
No,
move,
no,
isn't
it's
it?
not.
Mars was like a big
This
brother
is just
to
a full
Akira,
video.
and the model of what kind of hunter he wanted to be. Oh,
It
but
is
that part
possible
stops
that
there
they've done
just 'cause
some
we haven't had the
shorts,
time to get to the rest of it, but basically,
from
Akira's
this.
just gonna tell Mars what happened, and Mars will be like, totally.
No,
epic
it
win."
absolutely is. And this is not even the longest one. The last one I watched was about ghoul lore, and it was an hour and 40 minutes long. Sorry, I heard something weird. One sec. Okay, that's alright. The dog's coming up the stairs.
And they'll deathmatch before bed.
But it's not,
I
like,
know,
easy for him
I
right
know.
now.
Isn't the love between these two overwhelming?
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
But, yeah, I still need to write the next couple arcs, because he's gotta fight the rest of the sidekicks before he gets to Gilgamesh, right? So,
How many
first is Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
Then he's gonna fight Florence Henderson.
Florence
What?
Henderson. The mum from the Brady Bunch.
Why?
No, the nurse lady.
Oh, that's Florence Nightingale. You'll definitely want to change that.
Okay. After that is Jackson Pollock.
Good. I never liked his paintings. Messy nonsense that anyone having a
gosh.
prolonged series of muscle spasms could replicate.
I would pay to see you recreate Pollock Door. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen you state an opinion about art that involved architecture.
Cubism was superior to abstract expressionism anyway. I can
Oh.
guarantee Yosef Gokar would have made a Pollock painting, but Pollock could never build the House of the Black Madonna.
Yeah, I've got no clue what any of that is. Any other members of the Goon Squad?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
the last guy is Andre.
But yeah,
the
no,
Giant.
100.
Let me
Why?
ask, why these people in
Why Andre the Giant? What did Andre the Giant do? He was Fezzik.
specific?
Well, usually when you see a bad guy's minions, he's got a weird guy, a smart guy, a big guy, a lady, and a really scary guy.
So he picked
And I
Andre
don't
the
think
Giant.
those minions to be people from history.
Well,
So he picked Andre the Giant because fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. You've seen pictures of Andre the Giant, like compared to normal people. I was a little surprised when I found out he had a kid, and then I saw his baby mama, and they never got married. So she's tiny compared to
pretty full
him.
of choices, I'd say, if a bit disparate.
Yeah, he'd fight all of them. Jack the Ripper would come back a few times, so he'd have to fight him a couple of times. And then at some point, Gilgamesh kidnaps Hina.
Hina, no!
Because of course he does.
So yeah, I think I kind of got bored and jumped ahead a little, because the next bit's after Akira and Hina killed Gilgamesh.
Of course he did! I knew he had it in him!
As Akira stood over the slowly disintegrating corpse of Gilgamesh, he couldn't believe what he was seeing on the screen. You do this one, Grampy,
He added stuff to him.
Gilgamesh!
said a strange bat-like alien on the
Why did he sound like Skeletor?
screen.
The whole world needs to know how plans are going for the invasion of Earth. Do you copy?
What the heck are you? Akira asked angrily.
Why do you write heck
See,
like
you have
that?
defeated our champion Gilgamesh. What a shame.
said the bat alien.
We are the Chinoterrans.
Also,
creators of
D.
the creatures
When you see yellow, that is D. He is driving.
you call vampires. They were to be our advanced scout party in order to harvest the resources of your planet. We needed them much more than you did. But now that Gilgamesh is dead, I suppose we have no choice. An invasion of Earth will begin in 24 hours! Oh, what a twist!
So, you guys are the reason for my suffering? Akira asked with angry tears in his eyes. I'm gonna kill you! But just as Akira was about
Are
to
you
lose
for
himself
real?
to his rage again,
There's
Hina
a
woke up
Skeletor
and
voice
sadly
path
put
for
a hand
that.
on his arm.
That's fantastic.
No, you can't.
Oh,
She
her
said
hair's
weakly,
long.
As she was still tired from summoning the Merkaba.
I'm sorry, the what?
She summoned a tank. This Hina didn't strike me as being enlisted in the JROTC. Even if she was, they'd be much more likely to give her an M1 Abrams.
Oh my
or the
gosh.
Merkava.
Why would there be JROTC in Japan?
No, it's not a tank. It's, she summoned the Chariot of God.
That's a little esoteric, isn't it? Did your grampy teach you that one?
I just saw it in a dream
That's
once and it told me
fantastic.
its name.
Wait, what?
Ah.
Yeah, dream revelations from the Cosmic Divine. We've all had them. Continuing.
You have to
What?
stay in control. I won't lose you.
That
okay?
came out of
Akira
left
looked
field?
sadly at Hina. I promise I won't leave you, but I do have to go deal with this.
But where are you going?
Hina asked. I have to go to my father's homeland, Akira said. To America! As soon as they left
The eagle shriek?
Gilgamesh's
Oh my
destroyed
gosh.
base, Akira took Hina home and told her that no matter what happened, she needed to stay there. Gilgamesh may have been dead, but that didn't mean the Chiroterrans were.
I like how
also
they got like
potentially
more
looking to use her
anime,
for her
by the
powers.
way.
Hina wasn't happy about it, but at least she wouldn't be alone with all their new friends at her house.
Where'd the werewolf
Yeah,
come
at some
from?
point they're gonna make friends with the. I know there's gonna be a werewolf guy in there somewhere, and also a guy who uses fire magic. Oh, and a succubus. Hina's not happy about the succubus.
Oh my! Do I sense a love triangle brewing?
Mother, what have you been teaching him? How does he know what a succubus is?
As Akira was getting ready to leave, Hina stopped him at the door.
Just
Just
promise
blame
me
World of
you'll be back in
Warcraft.
time for the prom. Okay.
She said with a blush and tears in her eyes. You know it, said Akira, and he strided away, pulling out his LG chocolate and calling up his father's slabs
LG
old friends in the
chocolate.
Marines.
And the prom's tomorrow.
Hi, Mr. Chief, sir, said Akira. I thought that was a funny reference. I need to talk to the president. We've got a problem. And this is where, if it was a show, there'd be a cool title card saying this is the next story arc.
There's about 10 minutes left.
Absolutely see it.
Which, guaranteed part of that's going to be after credits, because they almost always do something after credits. Not always, but almost always.
The triumphant music swells, and the audience will be vibrating with excitement at the grand adventure to come.
It didn't take much talking from Akira to convince the President of the United States to give him full access to Area 51. After all, where else on Earth would one go when they wanted to stop an alien apocalypse?
Absolutely.
When he got to Area
Apocalypse.
51, he found out that the world governments had known about the Chiroterrans for some time, but they didn't have definitive proof of their existence until Akira had killed Gilgamesh and revealed their plans to the world. They thought this would be a great opportunity to try out their newly set up Space Marine program. They wanted Akira to lead the program.
Space
but he wasn't
Marines!
interested in all the genetic experimenting they were doing. And after all, he didn't need any of that with his unlocked half-breed powers. So the government said, fine, you don't have to go through the genetics.
Why does he look
but
like
take our
that?
Space Marines with you
Oh,
when
well,
you
I guess
go."
he's a mad
What
scientist.
Space Marine we talking? Spartan or?
Spartan. I mean, they're not exactly the same, though. I just haven't written about them much. I call them the Crimson Dragon Blades. But we're not there yet. Anyway, Akira agreed. They also showed him the experimental ship they had built, which could achieve faster than light travel. The Kachi. Akira took
Oh,
a
really?
squad of
I hadn't
Space
tried
Marines,
Space Marine 2.
Kanye,
I want to play Monster Hunter Wilds, though. But that's out of left field. But no, I hadn't tried Space Marine 2. Is the melee combat, does it feel wonky?
Jake, Josh, George, Johnny, Connor, and Lemmy-Tooth had boarded the Kachi.
Why do these names give me deja vu?
The government had sent scout drones ahead to find the exact coordinates of the Chiroterran homeworld, and they determined the ship would arrive within 10 hours. As the ship took off for space, Akira braced himself for the upcoming battle.
Marcus, I think my nose is bleeding.
I kind of skipped this part too, but they land on the planet, and as soon as they get out, there's laser fire everywhere, and everything's exploding, and a bunch of the Marines get shredded, and it's super bloody and stuff. It's super cool and gory, but like also sad and stuff because everybody's screaming and dying, like Saving Ryan's Pirates.
Ah!
Very age appropriate, yes.
Oh, I know you don't actually have a problem with that one. Who was planning on showing him Genocyber? The one where two little kids get shredded by a minigun at the start of the second episode?
Genocyber is a classic and a rite of passage. And it wasn't just a minigun, it was a minigun and a helicopter.
When Akira finally arrived at the top of the tower, he was met with a shocking sight. There in the control room of the tower was a boy who looked a lot like him, but who had massive bat wings and short spiked blonde hair.
That's
and
a shame,
red
though.
eyes. Akira stood there with his mouth hanging open. Is that you, Ryu? It can't be. Gilgamesh
I was gonna say,
killed
is that
you!"
his
He
brother?
screamed in anguish. That's not quite true, brother, said Ryu. Gilgamesh had intended on turning me into his vampire thrall when he attacked, but when he took me back to his base, his Chiroterran leaders saw there was something special in my genetics, and they commanded him to send me to them. They mixed my DNA with Chiroterran DNA. So now, I have the strength of the Nephilim, the magic of the Yukai, the willpower of the human heart, and the dark energies of the Chiroterran surging within me. I might be
Wow.
stronger than even
He's
you
even
now,
more
brother.
Bender.
But why, brother? Why are you working with these aliens that want to destroy the Earth? Akira asked through gritted teeth. Destroy the Earth? They want to do no such thing, said Ryu, looking confused. But they're planning to invade the Earth in 24 hours, shouted Akira. Oh, that was just a rogue element, said Ryu. We already dealt with him. The Chiroterrans are not the enemy of Earth. In fact, they want to
Hey,
be
Side.
allies.
How's it going?
So, they don't want to harvest the Earth? Asked Akira. They did, but then they found out about you and me, and decided they wanted to try seeking our help rather than harvesting the Earth's resources. said Ryu. Seek help with what?
So there's-
asked Akira. The war.
They
of
still might be
course,
bad guys.
said Ryu. The war against the X-Quides.
Well, that's cool. It just sucks that the melee is off.
Thought I started writing this part. The X-Quides. What's that? Asked Akira.
Are those space
They're only the
horses?
greatest
Are
threat
they
the
space
galaxy the
horses?
galaxy's ever known,
X-Coins.
Ryu said gravely. They're a race of
Oh my
creatures that are
gosh!
something
It's
like a
because of
cross
horse!
between a horse and a zombie. They come from the furthest corner of the universe.
I'm a little
with
jealous.
only
I
one
could
desire,
go to sleep.
to consume all life. We call them the X-Quides because they're like horses that are wrong horses, that are horses. They have eyes of deepest crimson and are going bald in places, especially on their heads.
Huh. Oh, that kind of sounds like.
Is that?
No, it's not. It's actually all part of the story. See, the X-Quides are like a gross undead army, like a huge, crazy mass, like zombies and stuff. Yeah, it's nothing like horse, because they don't vomit blood, and they don't make snipples in the ooze for me, or tell me prophecies, or tell me stuff about the future, and yeah, it's nothing
Son,
like horse.
please, calm yourself.
No,
Poor
because
boy.
They don't do any of that. Horse does. It's completely different, Dad. And
Oh
you
my
know the-
gosh.
Grandson, please restrain yourself.
that hatch?
Brace!
Oh no! They crashed.
Whew.
You got any plans for the day?
That could have been worse.
Sound off! Anyone hurt?
No.
Not here.
Boy, are you all right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
Because you were talking crazy, dude.
Marcus,
I was? Sorry, I just kind of blanked out for a second. Where was I in the story again?
Poor boy.
The rest of the story will probably have to wait, boy. It seems like we're at the Arcanum.
Oh, cool. Well, anyways, I really appreciate you going through my story with me. It made the trip a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed, dear boy.
The backstory for this is
Hello.
there is one of these that's called "There's Something Wrong with the Horse," which is like Dee's pet, I guess. And yeah, there's something wrong with him.
Since this collision with Remmel's dastardly hedge was quite minimal, I'd say all's well that ends well. Son-in-law,
Yes, City?
go and prepare the window detacher with Marcus and Boy.
Are you sure you want to after that whole?
Yes, I am. Allow Dor and I a brief moment, if you will.
All right, I think I get it. Come on, boy, you can wear the welder mask for a bit.
Oh, hell yeah! And the particle respirator too?
Sure thing, I guess.
Distract the kid. Oh, there's a bunch of toys back there. And stickers.
I'm concerned.
How can you not be? Tell me your woes, my son.
Boy has always been exemplary. But between those blanks in the tunnel, them breaking out of the cellar, now this.
You worry it's too much for him.
The tunnel was rough. And so was Piotr.
Dor, you needn't be embarrassed.
Piotr? I'm not saying it
Completely
right, but
natural to worry. Like,
yeah.
just today I was discussing the
He's
matter with...
fixated on horses of late. He's tried to tell me strange things about him. I've seen him scribble in his notebooks, on the margins of his schoolwork.
Then the matter needs to be closed. And soon at that. Dor, you have my word. Once we finish this hunt, I shall do all in my power to mollify this.
It'll be
strange
interesting to see where that goes. Because
Thank you, Father.
here's what I'm going to say. After all of the lore on ghouls in the last one, and then there being the ghoul dogs, I feel like I don't know 100% what horse is, but at the very least, he's probably a ghoul.
I will speak to him.
Or she,
myself
I
as
guess.
well.
I guess horse could be a girl.
You
I'm
will
not
move
sure they've
past
said
this.
which.
I know it. My boy is strong.
Stronger than you know, my son.
Oh gosh, I am definitely gonna become one of their Patreons and see if they'll do Tryx in their style. I feel like they'd like her. I feel like they'd get a kick out of that. I'd get a kick out of it regardless. They put so much work into these though. Most of them, yeah, the last one I watched was the longest one. This is the second longest, but they've had others that were like an hour. Oh no. 3.1 was the second longest. But they've had 50 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes. Like, they put a lot of work into these. They put a ton of work into these. And, like, it's gotten so much better. I don't know really how long they've been doing this sort of thing. I started with the TTS, but I don't know if that's where they started or if they were doing anything before that. I know they've got like a Half-Life one. Which
Oh, is she like possessed here? Okay, alright.
Oh.
Let's try this.
Let me wait on that.
Thy judgment is nigh, and the sun shall be thy judge
That's him practicing.
and executioner.
It's too good. Oh,
It's too good.
I have a very good vocal range, actually. They just have me voice this one fucking twunk.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Oh man, I wish we could have that in.
Diana är hennes namn. Och hon går ut med Devil i månens sken och ger Fantomen sin famn.
Okay, I paused it before it starts the next one. So, this isn't the one that I watched. This is the next one. But, I'll link that anyway. And it'll be linked when I post it on YouTube regardless. I definitely, like, you gotta check them out. I thought I turned this off. They are so good. And it's just getting better. It's just getting better. Like, that was fun, funny, lighthearted, but it got kind of dark there at the end. It can have, like, very sudden tone shifts like that. And there's so many theories. It's good. It's good.
I see beyond the sea. Oh, Captain, can we find where the treasure be?